Now, Home Affairs has spent 52 million rand to deport almost 20,000 undocumented immigrants.
When we transfer nationals that have been arrested illegally in the country, there are few countries that are responding, including Kenya.
If the system that allows people who come to the country illegally to continue, it means we are going to keep on spending money because we've not addressed the entry or exit parts of our country. There's a guy from Japan. He spent 17 years in our country, not traced simply because he was running away from Japan because he committed a crime there in Japan. But how could a person who was a fugitive of justice in Japan is able to stay for 17 years in our country without our systems in our country to track whether this person, number one, is in the country, what is the conditions of his stay here? The spaza shops that are all over the country, all over the townships and villages, those people that are running those spaza shops, no government entity can actually confidently say to the citizens, these people, we vetted them, they are compliant with our laws, but they're in charge of food supply to our country. Now, when we see instances of our children dying out of the foods they buy from these spaza shops, there's no accountability. We've been hearing about how many children are dying, but not once have we had a conversation to know how many of the spaza shop owners have been arrested. Now, it makes us to actually wonder, is the government not part of this deliberate action of actually poisoning South Africans? Because immediately allow people, you don't even know where they come from, to settle in the country illegally, be in charge of food supply. You cannot be surprised when people are dying, but the question is, what is the government doing? So if the illegal immigration is not addressed, it will become much more expensive than the 52 million.
South Africa government, they have just spent 52 million rand in 5 months in deportation of some illegal immigrants which were found inside South Africa borders. By the way, some of these illegal immigrants, they are on their way back in South Africa. Guys, we are talking about spending 52 million rands within 5 months just to spend in a country where there's a high number of unemployment. Just imagine that. In a country whereby there is a lot of things which are needed financially, yet these problems are not solved, but they're spending about millions in less than a year. What will happen in an entire year? We're talking about the government spending more than 100 million rands in order for them to deport these illegal immigrants, even though most of them, they will always want to come back. But guys, do you know how many illegal immigrants do we have in South Africa? Do you know how many millions of money that the government will have to invest in order for them to deport those who will be arrested? And also, do you know how many illegal immigrants that are entering the borders of South Africa daily? These are indeed the capital questions which we're supposed to be focusing on instead of spending a lot of money for no reasons. And here I want to bring something to your mind of what Julius Malema had said concerning these matters of illegal immigrants.
They are here already. You go and put them in Lindela. With our state money, which you are saying it's supposed to buy medicine, we pay buses, we take them back. They come back the following day, not next week.
So what would be your solution as the EFF?
The solution is let's go and document these people.
So don't deport them, rather find a way to formalize them.
We need to document them, because whether you like it or not, my brother, they are here. You know what they do in December? They hand themselves over in Lindela so that they can go and eat Christmas at home. And then in January they come back. That money could have been used on some feeding scheme to feed the children of the poor or in the clinics. The reality of you are in denial. There's xenophobic people are in denial. That's a problem. They are in denial that these people are here. They think they are still coming. Yeah. They are not coming, they are here. How do we deal with that? In 2014, I was told to change land expropriation without compensation because the messaging is not right. They will always find something to attack you. They split hairs. And when I stood firm on land expropriation without compensation, they were even doing campaigns, giving people title deeds. They say, people want title deed, this person is going to take your land and all of that. All of a sudden it has changed. It's no longer about the land. This open border policy was there in 2014, was there in 2019, but it didn't work. What else can we find to attack them? Whether me and you like it or not, there are no borders in South Africa. That is just something written for formality on the founding manifesto of the EFF. There are no borders, my brother. I can tell you, it's like we behave like a mad person who has got a shack and a yard. He's given a stand with a shack. He goes and put a gate where there's no fence. You put a gate. When you go to Mqimbi, we Yamalopo, ukia gate here like a lock. Yet you don't have a fence. When you come back and unlock that gate and open. Your neighbor is looking at you. It's like, what is this? Gayton Mackenzie was running all over Limpopo River, saying he's chasing Zimbabweans who are crossing into South Africa, almost eaten by crocodiles for doing that. But the foolish him, he didn't know. He was proving what I'm saying correct, that there is no fence. So what open border are you talking about, which is not happening now, which is going to happen after the EFF takes over government? These Africans have always been here. If you doubt, there is a language called Fanaka law. It was formed long before the arrival of the EFF. Why? The migrant laborers met. They couldn't communicate amongst themselves when they were building South African economy. It was built by Zambians, it was built by Mozambicans, it was built by Zimbabweans, it was built by South Africans who could not communicate amongst themselves. They formed a language, Fanaka law. Where was the EFF when these migrant laborers were here? I'm just saying, we must not find ourselves behind time. The EFF is being punished for being ahead of the times. We say things now, you guys come to appreciate them extremely late because we're too far in thinking. So, and these Africans, when you needed them, they were there for you. The frontline states were there. People got killed in Lesotho. People got killed in Mozambique. People got killed in Swaziland, in Botswana, because they were suspected to have been harboring the terrorists, meaning your liberators, your liberation movements were alleged to have headquarters in those places. Someone says, don't tell us about Nigerians. You even go to an extent of saying Nigerians gave us money for our liberation. It's true. From the civil servants of Nigeria, monies were deducted from them to support the liberation of South Africa. So today we are in a comfortable place. We say we don't want them. The EFF agrees that we don't want undocumented people in South Africa. How can we say South Africans must get IDs and then welcome people who are not undocumented? Everybody has to be documented so that if any wrongdoing happens, for whatever reason we are looking for you, we need to find your location. So we need to find a way.
What about the issue of scarce resources? Because you know about the unemployment in this country. And what government is trying to do is also make it difficult for foreign nationals to have jobs here. Not necessarily make it difficult, but you need to find a way so that you don't get a helper or anybody else where there's no scarce skills who gets a job here without considering South Africans first. So how do we deal with the issue of scarce resources? Because when you've got all of them here and you're saying let's formalize them, we don't have jobs. So the competition is high. So you're going to have South Africans that are without jobs. Some of the jobs are really taken by some of the foreign nationals, whether they're here legally or not.
I've never had a country where it says it doesn't want to grow. Numbers matter when it comes to geopolitics. China, it is what it is because of its size of its population.
But its economy is growing very well. Ours is not.
Because the leadership is working. Let's industrialize. Let's make sure that manufacturing grows in South Africa. Let's create jobs. But all I'm saying is, you are saying these people are coming to take jobs. Which jobs are you talking about? Because there are no jobs that South Africans are accepting which are a reflection of slavery. These people are being enslaved here in South Africa. And when you say they've taken South Africans' jobs, you are saying South Africans must be enslaved. These are not jobs. These are slaves' jobs. which South Africans don't want to work abnormal hours, to work under difficult conditions and don't get paid and don't have rights. So no South African wants that. At the level where it's a required skill, South Africa makes it very clear that we must give preference to South Africans who've got the similar requirement. Unless we don't have artisans, then we go and fetch from other countries. So all I'm saying is, where a job is given, a South African with same qualifications should be given a preference. We cannot prefer a person who's not a South African to the one that is going to pay tax in South Africa. And that is not what we are dealing with. I want you to present any stats to me that says, if we deport these foreigners, so many jobs are going to be created. Look at what's happening in education. We are retrenching educators. Not because foreigners have taken the positions of educators. We don't have the political will to sustain those jobs. As a result, they're going to be lost, not because of any foreigner. The steel factories have closed down, not because of any foreigner. The infrastructure in South Africa is decaying because there is no leadership that wants to look after that. It's not a foreigner. Manufacturing, which used to be the biggest contributor to our GDP, it has actually been replaced by finance, which doesn't create a lot of job opportunities for our people. But you know that if you go into manufacturing, you are going to create a lot of jobs. A factory, manufacturing used to account for thousands of jobs, more than 150,000 jobs in manufacturing alone. Today, you can't count more than 80,000 of jobs in manufacturing. So you can't say the foreigners have actually, the jobs are still there, 150,000 of them, the foreigners have taken them. No, the factories have closed down and jobs were lost, not because foreigners came in, but because the financial sector has overtaken manufacturing, and financial sector does not want to deal with industrialization. Anything long term, the financial sector does not want to support it. Why? Because they deal with hot money. They deal with what short-term investment, and they don't want anything to do with long-term investment.
We need to find a way, says Julius Malema, while he was busy giving this powerful interview that I'm inviting you guys to watch it on the appropriate channel. Guys, we need to find a way. In other words, we need to find a solution, because these people, they are here. Imagine how many foreigners do we have in South Africa? Do you know their numbers? Do you know how many illegal immigrants they are coming in South Africa borders daily? Do you know their numbers? Now, this thing of deportation, how do you think it's gonna work if you are failing already? Because you deport one person today and tomorrow they're back inside South Africa. You heard Julius Malema saying it, and these are the facts which me and you, we are all aware about it. Why? Because we don't want to look each other into the face and tell each other the truth. When we talk about this kind of conversations, I believe some of you will call us names. Some of you will judge us, but these are the facts. These are the things which make sense. This is no solution. Because this money that the government they're spending in order for them to deport all these people, this money can contribute to the economy of South Africa. This money can contribute on how to fight against unemployment. This money can contribute even to help people, the children who need a free education. They're supposed to be for everyone. The governments, they will come and tell that they don't have money, but see them kind of money they're spending. Is this another way of a new way of getting tenders, or is it just something that that we can just consider it like normal? Guys, 52 million spend it in less than 5 months. What will happen in a year, which have 12 months? Isn't it will spend close to 200 millions? Why? Because it happened that, they're having illegal immigrants. You had Julius Malema giving even some examples saying that some of them, now that it is December time, they'll offer themselves, they'll give themselves for free to the police, so that the police will come and arrest them. And once the police arrest them, they'll send them in Lindela, and from Lindela, they'll deport them to their home country. They'll go there, they'll celebrate the Christmas. January, they're on their way back. So Julius Malema with the EFF, they suggested a solution, which I know most of you out there, you like to criticize them for that. You like to call them names for that, because that's the problem with us black people, our mentalities. When someone come up with something which can bring a better solution, all we feel is about calling them names, accusing them of things, not voting for them.
Why am I hated for saying people must unite? For saying let's come to, I'm not saying let's divide. I'm saying let's unite. Instead of being called a unifier who seeks to unify humanity, not only in Africa, in the whole world. No, why do you bring these people? Oh, these people are going to do this, these people are going to do that. Why? Since when is a unifier the enemy of the people and the enemy of peace-loving South Africans, people who advocate for prosperity, for international solidarity with the downtrodden? Why do you now characterize me in the manner you characterize me?
That is the kind of mentality we have. But we don't come to sit down and think that, okay, what if these people, what they're saying, it really makes sense? What if this is the true solution to all this? Guys, when Julius Malema is calling that these people, they should be documented, what does he mean by that? Because sometimes I have the impression, or should I say, I have the feeling that people that are misunderstanding him, that are misunderstanding Julius Malema, sometimes whenever he addresses these matters of illegal immigrants in Africa borders. It does not say that someone will come and say that, no, because you documented them, then they become South Africans. No. He's simply trying to make it easy that, no, instead of these people coming here, committing crimes, because some of them, they came from out of jail, they ran away from their country, maybe they've committed crimes over there, or maybe they are big torties, and they came in South Africa, now they continue committing even serious crimes. Instead of them doing that, what about to get a way to register these people? You know who they are, how many are they, and where are they coming from, and what are they doing within the South Africa borders? Once you get the correct number of all these points, activities that I just mentioned, then we can go ahead and say that, okay, what about now we give them proper papers? These papers, it has to work in the way that South Africa, with South Africans, they can benefit from it. You look certain things, certain kind of jobs, certain kind of skills that this one is only for South Africans, and you leave it that way. You can't have it if you are an immigrant in South Africa. This job is for this and that, you come up with the idea. For an example, you say, in our hospitals, these people, since they are coming here, some of them, they come in the purpose of saying that, no, there's a free health care over there. They should start paying for that. You are sick, you go to the hospital, you pay. Even though you can't pay as the same as from the country which you came from, but you have to pay something which the government of South Africa will have to benefit from it. And when South Africa is sick, they can have a normal free health care. That is normal, which is already being the constitutions of South Africa. And then, if there's something that, no, these people, they have a limit on certain things to do. They can do this, they can do that. They can get married, they can do this, they can do that. You at least just have a limit. You say that, okay, this they can't do and this they can do. But by giving them proper documents, which they can be able to open bank accounts, which they can be able, these things, like it or not, guys, let us tell each other the truth here. It's still gonna benefit South Africa government and South Africans in general. Let me give you this example. These people that are coming here, they are staying here illegal. They don't have paper. They don't have any form kind of identity, which if they commit some crime, you can be able to find them. They come here, they do all the nonsense and they disappear just like that. Look what happened in Soweto. The guy from Mozambique who came and raped the daughter, a child of 6 years old. He raped her and killed her. This guy just disappeared like that. When we are asking the police what happened there, who's this guy, where can we find? The police is like, no, we don't know where he is. Why? Because the guy was here illegal. How possible is that? How can this person leave Mozambique and enter the border of South Africa for all these years, yet his fingerprints are not found anywhere in the system of South Africa? That is the irresponsibility of the government of South Africa. One, they did not secure the borders. Two, they did not identify who came in. But they are willing to spend millions to tell us who goes out. Guys, now, these people, when they come in, they do those kind of crime. And South Africa government are not doing nothing. That's where the problem lays. But if they can give these people proper documents, a document that can allow South Africa to register them in the system, to know who they are, a document that can allow them to go in and out. That's the problem. That's where the problem lays, guys. Myself, I have many African brothers that we talk here and there. These people, most of them, you can tell that no one is comfortable to just remain within the border of South Africa. Give them documents which can allow them just to be kind of like a tourist, goes in and out. The more they goes in, the more they goes out, it is the more money the government of South Africa will make.
Yeah. Free movements of persons, free movements of goods will make this country flourish. We will even produce our own products. One thing that you South Africans undermine yourself with is that you are the America of Africa. If you are to produce anything here, Africa will receive it with both hands. They will say, this one is from South Africa. You are known for quality, yet you still don't produce a car. Open the borders. Let the goods move. Let people move. Then produce a car that is South African and sell it to the billions of people who are out there waiting for products from South Africa.
All right.
We don't produce anything, yet we've got market.
All right.
I have no time for borders. Why? I have no time for colonialism. How do you say to me, go and change French on the passport, and then come at the same time and say, leave the borders alone, but remove French. Removing of French on the passport is part of decolonizing South Africa.
Yeah.
So you can't speak in folk tongues. It has to be very clear. No one is going to come to our country. They don't have borders in Europe. But when it comes to us, they say, no, you must have borders. Why? The division of of Africa is what makes them thrive. They thrive on the division of the African continent. Can you imagine the minerals of DRC combined with the minerals of South Africa and with a new currency based on the minerals? What we can do to the dollar if we become a United States of Africa with our minerals alone? We can collapse the dollar. We can collapse the strong pound that is based on gold, yet they don't have a gold mine. So why do you allow such things? So my position is informed by that.
So when Julius Malema is talking about the opening of African borders, this is what exactly mean. It is for the goods with people within Africa borders to be traveling more freely from Tanzania to Kenya, from Kenya to Uganda, from Uganda to South Africa. That is a way of growing up again an African economies. But unfortunately, we are not seeing all that. So back to what I was saying. Let's say the government of South Africa give these people proper documents. These people, they have to pay for it. Just come up with the price like, no, look, every time your visas, it costs this much. Let's see if these people will fail to pay that money. Let's say they just give like maybe these asylum seekers, they say, okay, 500 rand for every renewal of your asylum. Do you know how many people do Home Affairs does help there in Malabar State in order for them to renew their papers? We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people daily. And these people, if they have to go and make that kind of payment within the South Africa Reserve Banks, do you know how many millions of money South Africa will have to collect from all these people who need to get proper documents? Now, when they go in and they go out, they're still gonna come and invest, because every time they travel is money. And now with all this money, you can go ahead and do what Julius Malema with the EFF, they are suggesting. That no, the problem is that there is no border. You are talking about border, but there's no border. How can you deport someone 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the evening, that person they're back in?
Because some of them, come December, they turn themselves to the Home Affairs to be deported. They come back again in January, which is, they're making a mockery of our country.
You see them, then you ask yourself, like I know this friend of mine is an officer. It's like, I don't understand, man. We took this person, we deported, we saw even how they crossed the borders. But the following day, I'm seeing this same person. I ask myself, how did they enter these borders? So I think what Julius Malema is trying to suggest here, it is something that needs to be paid attention. Why? Because look, the new Home Affairs Minister, the one of DA, this man does not buy the story of these border guards who are over there in Musunas, who are busy making sure that no people should not cross in, because he believes that these people that are spending a lot of money to pay them, and the work they're doing is not enough. So I think Julius Malema with the EFF, they're right, because if South Africa government can be able to secure the borders and then allow everyone within South Africa to have proper papers, I believe all the illegal immigrants, they'll start coming out on their own. Yes, they'll start accusing they'll start accusing themselves by telling the police who they are. If they get deported, or if they get arrested and being charged for some illegal activities, these people don't like now to apply for proper papers, because when they live without no papers, they can't be able to open bank account, they can't be able to travel, they can't be able to do 1, 2, 3 things. It's going to affect them in one way or other. And once that happens, it's going to put them uncomfortable to live their life normally. And that is how you reduce the number of illegal immigrants. Because I can't come and sit here and tell you that no, you finish illegal immigrants. I'll be lying, shame. I'll be lying, because #1 country in the world, the most powerful country such as the USA, until today, they're still fighting against illegal immigrants. What about South Africa? USA, they have all the necessary finances, system, security. They even build long wall, which is more than 6 meters. Every time when you look at their politics, you'll see on how they're complaining, they're crying about illegal immigrants keep on coming in their countries. Europe, we can't even mention. They even changed the law. Look at France, who used to welcome illegal immigrants and then give them papers, and the next thing they give them the nationality of France. Today they even changed that law. They say no more asylum seek, no more this, no more that. But illegal immigrants, they're still there. So illegal immigrants is something that you can't finish, but it's something that you can reduce. Because once you reduce, you'll have a lot of work. Your people won't suffer from unemployment. Okay, all this crime that we are seeing, we won't be seeing them. Why? Because you are managing at least. They are there, but you are managing. But this strategy of you guys arresting and putting billions of money in order for you to deport these people, and these people, they go home. The following day, they come back in the country. It's like you're taking, actually, it's like you're dropping a what? They say what? A dot of water in the oceans. That's what they're doing right now, because talking about illegal immigrants, there's a lot of illegal immigrants in this country. A lot. So I think the easy way, let's start first with those ones that the government have managed to register. Those ones who are inside South Africa system. Look them and give them proper documents, because a lot of them, their visas, their asylum visa papers, their refugee status, it had expired, and South Africa government have not give anything, they have not renew anything. These people, the more they become, the longer their visa get expired, the more illegal they'll become. Because when they're supposed to be renewing their papers in order for them to be in order, the government does not, with the Home Affairs, they don't want to give them the papers. Then the next things, these people will be illegal. Once they become illegal like that, then you fail even to deport all of them, because some of these people, they've been in this country for so many years. We are talking people who've been here for 30 years, 10 years, 5 years. They have kids, they have wives, children who were born here. When, guys, I'm telling you the fact, if you go to the Home Affairs, the Refugee Home Affairs, you'll see what is happening over there. These people, now you want to deport them. Someone who came with a child, who came here young, they got married, they settled down, they have kids. These kids, they grow up, they are over 16. Instead of even trying to document them so that you can be able to manage them, you are thinking of deporting them. Now, when you deport them like that, the first thing they do, they rush to the court. When asked Aaron Mutoledi, they will tell you how many times they make him suffer inside the court. They take you to the court. When they go there, the court will be like, no. After all these years, this person has been here. No, you need to give them the papers. All the case that they took the Home Affairs as the court, these people, they end up winning. Now, what is the solution? The solution actually is only what Julius Malema with the EFF is suggesting, is by trying to come up with a solution that can benefit the government of South Africa instead of making South Africa spend a lot of money for no reasons. So guys, it is very important that this matter need to be addressed. And it is very pity also at the same time when we have to consider everyone who talk about this as the enemy. No, we don't need that. We need to sit down and have like courage to look each other into the face and see where the danger comes. Yes, because as long we don't do that, Shem, we'll keep on complaining, and there's nothing good will come out. So 52 million rand is gone. In 1 year, we'll come back again here and tell you how many millions they'll have to spend again. Because these millions, is instead of them spending it deporting these people, they can do like giving them proper documents, take this money and invest it in something else. They can even take this money to secure the borders, hire more security guard over there, and start paying them this money so that no one should not cross in South Africa, so that whoever get deported out of South Africa, they should not get a chance to come back in South Africa. Simple as that. How can you be deporting people when the border are not secured? It is like if you are having water in the net, you are trying to, you know what I mean, yeah. And then it is water. Obviously, at the end of the day, you're left with without nothing in that net because the water will leak. So I think the government of South Africa should open the eyes on this one. And people of South Africa should understand that when you are seeking for a solution, you need to consider other people's proposal. Even though you are against it, even though you hate these people, but sometimes it could be that it's only their proposal that can work. And what the EFF they are bringing right now, they are suggesting now, it is something that, for me personally, I think they need to try it first and see how it will look like. If it fails, then that's something else. But you can't deny these people with their point of view without you giving them a chance. So we shall wait and see what will happen. I guess that is politics. Maybe, actually for me, these things of spending 52 million rand, guys, if I have to be honest with you, I think like it is another new way of politicians stealing the money, you know. Politicians are very creative when it comes to stealing. The public money, when they want to steal it, politicians are very clever and very creative. They can come up with something which does not make sense, and you just see millions and millions of money gone. And that's what is happening right now. Because whether we like it or not, all these people, when they're being arrested, they are the embassies of their countries. They don't contribute even a cent. They don't contribute at all. It's just like Donald Trump with Mexico. Donald Trump saying that, no, I'm going to build a wall here so that Mexicans, they should not come in the US border. Just to find out that, no, the government of Mexico, they were like, okay, that's not our business. That concerns you. You are the one who want to build the wall. So if you can afford it, go ahead and do it. Don't count on us. Yeah, so these embassies of all these countries which are here, they don't want to contribute because they don't have that money. It's not even in their budget. So if South Africa, you want to chase these people from your country, well, do it on your own. But at the same time, they goes in the morning, they comes in. I mean, they goes out in the morning, they comes in the afternoon. For how long will this have to continue? We shall wait and see. Guys, thank you so much. It was very important that we sit here and have this conversation. So that will be all for now. Continue to be yourself, be good, be kind. Have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.